a technical issue, but I'm here and ready to go. I think I see a couple of my colleagues. So Tony, would you please do roll count for us?
Jimenez?
Yes, here.
Foley?
Here.
Esparza?
Here.
Carrasco?
Here.
Arenas?
Wonderful. I'm so
Thank you.
sorry. Still having a bit of an issue here. All right. All right, so I don't see anything under item B, review of the work plan. So we are going to go straight into college and career readiness.
Good afternoon, everybody. Michelle Arnott, Deputy Director of Public Service. Introducing the team here for college and career readiness. And Adrian McBride will take it away.
Literacy Program Specialist with the San Jose Public Library. And I'm in charge of responsible for college and career readiness. So I'm guessing we share the slideshow. Is that what happens, Michelle?
And this is Tony. Yes, I don't have your
Okay,
presentations. You need to share your screen.
gotcha. Let me just do that quickly.
So Adrian, while you get that up and going, I'm just going to fill the airtime with how strange is it to come back in the middle of the week from a holiday? It feels like a Monday. Whenever you're ready, Adrian, please let us know.
All right. And let me, oh, okay. So, all right. So, as Michelle, all right. So as Michelle mentioned, my name's Adrian McBride. I'm a literacy program specialist with the San Jose Public Library. The presenters today are Israel Kanyura with PRNS, Ellen Lobel with Partners in Reading, myself, Monique Melkor with Work to Future, Elizabeth Nolan with SJ Engage, and Rosemary Van Laer, who is the librarian for the SJPL Works program. And so just give you an overview. The college and career, the updates we're doing today are college career readiness standards, SJ Engage, SJ Aspires, Career Online High School, Working Scholars Program, SJPL Works, and San Jose Works. So just as a refresher, on May 7th, 2018, the City Council approved the Education and Digital Literacy Strategy and directed the San Jose Public Library to implement and or create quality and career ready, or our quality standards for all education and digital literacy programs. We began this work with the early education quality standards, the expanded learning quality standards. We recently completed the digital learning quality standards. And then what we're talking about today is the college and career readiness quality standards. So to develop the college and career readiness quality standards, we convened an ad hoc advisory committee consisting of education professionals from community colleges, San Jose CalSO, the City of San Jose Works, and San Jose State University, among others. The committee met 4 times over a period of months beginning in March, and we began our work right as COVID shut down everything. So that's brief history of it. The college and career readiness standards are meant to serve as a guide and a continuous quality improvement tool. The goal of them is to clearly define the standards, describe aspirational and tangible goals for programs, and once we get approval of these standards, they'll be utilized with the programs within the year. So the recommendations is for the NSE committee to accept the staff report on the development of the college and career readiness standards for all city-funded, operator endorsed programs as specified by the EDL strategy, and refer the standards to council for consideration at the December 1st, 2020 meeting.
Hi, like Adrian said, my name is Lizzie Nolan. I'm the Senior Librarian in Youth Services at the Dr. Martin Luther King Library, and I'm going to chat to you today about SJ Engage. So to support increased civic participation for San Jose youth ages 13 to 24, the second iteration of SJ Engage provided deeper learning opportunities through facilitated discussion groups and social action projects within our local communities, as well as expanded online courses for civic topics relevant to San Jose youth, including the census, gun violence, immigration, homelessness and poverty, mental health, and climate change. Hey, Adrian, can you move the next slide? Great, thanks. The Teens Reach coordinators, and that's our librarian staff who are dedicated to serving teens in our branch libraries. They've received additional training with SJ Engage curriculum facilitation and provided 25 learning discussions at our library branches. They facilitated the development of the social action projects and implemented the plans by their Teens Reach group, which is our sort of our teen volunteer or our teen advisory groups. So with the help of library staff, these Teens Reach groups applied for mini grants to enact their social action projects. We had 11 different Teens Reach group receive money to complete their social action projects, ranging from letter writing campaigns, button making campaigns to mental health fairs, as well as working on the development and creation of a short documentary film focused on diversity in their neighborhood and community. Next slide. Due to COVID-19, a portion of the SJ Engage mini grants were reallocated towards an essay contest for a laptop giveaway for teens in need of distant learning support. Students wrote an essay about their love of the San Jose community, what actions that their peers can take to make their neighborhood better, as well as describe the need for devices for learning at home. So students like 12th grade Tran at Yerba Buena High School offered some really hopeful insights about their communities. Also, just wanted to note that SJ Engage curriculum was incorporated into the, my toddlers are finishing up lunch, so you might hear them in the background, apologize. They also, we incorporated SJ Engage curriculum into the library's partnership with Work to Future over the summer. Since the library wasn't open in person, we weren't able to offer in-person work opportunities. We pivoted to doing a digital one through our Teen HQ at King Library. Teen HQ is a space for middle and high school students. And we created a digital program for around 20 of Work to Future students. And what we did is we had them tell their story of life in San Jose with video while learning about civic issues and library resources. This culminated in a final project where the teens demonstrated something that they have learned or a skill they wanted to share with us. We got great reception both from the teens and from the Work to Future staff. So we're partnering again for their winter term, which actually starts just next week. And that concludes my discussion on SJ Engage.
Thanks, Jose. And then I'll go a little bit over the San Jose Aspires program. So this was the end of our second year of the program. Pilot results, we ended up with about 260 registered users, and in total we paid out slightly over $25,000 in financial support to 56 students so far. Students who were part of the program do have up to 3 years to claim their financial award. So we built in, if a student doesn't go to college immediately, they don't lose their award. So, we anticipate these numbers going up over the next couple of years as well. And then a brief breakdown, 30 ended up going to community colleges. Most of those were local to the San Jose area. And then 26 ended up going to four-year colleges or universities. For the 2021 pilot expansion, we're anticipating, the slide says 750, it's probably going to be about 725 registered users in December of 2020. And they're going to be the ninth graders at Overfelt High School this year, 50 of the seniors at Overfelt High School. It's going to end up being about 250 of San Jose High School's class of 2023. We misestimated the number of students who would be enrolled there at this time. And then about 50 students from Opportunity Youth Academy. And then students can earn anywhere from 1,250 if they're seniors. So the Overfeld High School seniors and the Opportunity Youth Academy seniors can earn up to 1,250. And then the students who are 9th and 12th or 9th and 10th grade can earn up to $5,000 over the next 3 or 4 years of their high school career. And then we're also in the process of finalizing a banking contract with a banking entity to host the students' account. And as a note, the accounts are technically sub-accounts of the San Jose Public Library Foundation, so there's no impact on family public benefits or anything like that for the students who earn money through these awards. And then this is a testimonial from Jesus, who's over at San Jose State University. He graduated as part of the 2018-2019 pilot at Overfeld High School. And then the next thing we've been working on is Working Scholars. We connected with students who had graduated from the San Jose Public Library's Career Online High School program, and we were able to enroll 6 students in Working Scholars. 2 of those students are projected to complete their 90 units and transfer to Thomas Edison University to finish their degree in 2021. And in fact, we recently got word yesterday that 1 student is right on track, and we anticipate them enrolling in January of 2021. After those 2 students, the next one in line, we're looking at 2023. And then the remaining 3 students are working through the curriculum, and they're estimated to finish in 2027. The grant covers their work. It covers the cost of the program for the students, so there's no additional cost to it if the students take longer.
And I'm here to share a little bit more about Career Online High School. It began in February of 2016. And since then, we've actually had over 1,000 contacts with self-assessments and follow-up calls. And we've had 247 people complete the prerequisite course to go on to the next part of the screening process. And we just last week had our 15th cohort group, and they're underway as of today. And so they'll be on probation for a month. And then, so we're closing in on, well, we have 99 graduates so far. And we've had 4 in-person graduation ceremonies and 1 virtual graduation ceremony, and the next one will be in early February. And as Adrian already mentioned, we have 6 students who graduated from Career Online High School who are enrolled in Working Scholars to earn their bachelor's degree. Next slide, please. So here's a look at one of our graduation ceremonies that we had in person and taken in the lobby of King Library, of course. And so we've had, as I mentioned, 4 in-person ceremonies, and sometimes they range from about 12 participants who attend, and other times a small group like this one, 7 or 8 people. So next slide, please. And this is a student who graduated about 6 months ago, and she's been a foster mom and has some biological kids as well. So she's got about 8 kids, I think, that she's taking care of and has raised. And so she is planning to go on to social work classes, and she's a great motivator for our students who are currently enrolled. And next slide.
Good afternoon. I'm Rosemary Van Laer, and I'm going to give you an update on SJPL Works. In fiscal year 2019-20, 3,542 people benefited from 313 business and career programs. In addition, 221 people received direct career or business reference help, and 150 people received one-on-one career or business consultations. A suite of weekly career programs forms the core of our successful career services, and we pivoted to a virtual format for those in March 2020. Next slide, please. SJPL Works leveraged 26 partnerships in order to offer programs addressing a wide range of business and career development needs. Successful programs included a pilot monthly networking workshop for women seeking reentry into the workforce, offered in partnership with Thai Silicon Valley, Women Back to Work, and Mom Relaunch. Next slide, please. Current goals include finding innovative solutions in order to continue working with partners who can't easily pivot to virtual platforms, such as Bacardo Reception Center and Santa Clara County Reentry Resource Center. In order to bridge the digital divide, we have increased our collaboration with Family Learning Center literacy specialists to reach San Jose's most vulnerable customers through the Hotspot Referral Program. We continue to seek ways to boost our capacity, such as the recent addition of Job Now and Vet Now online resources. Next slide, please.
So I believe that we're waiting for Monique to jump into the call right now. This is Israel Kinger. I'm with the Mayor's Gun Prevention Task Force, and I oversee part of the implementation of the San Jose Works program.
Thank you, Israel. We will patiently wait.
Sorry, I lost you for a minute there.
I did.
Good afternoon.
Okay, there she
Sorry.
is.
I'm Monique Melcher, Director for Work to Future, and here to give you an update in regards to the San Jose Works program for program year 1920. This is our 5th year, so San Jose Works 5.0. We did 322 paid internships in businesses such as advanced manufacturing, business financial services, construction, healthcare and social assistance, information and communications technology, and 141 placements with city and nonprofits, excuse me. 93% of those youth were successfully completed their subsidized internships, and 543 older youth placed in employer-paid job opportunities this last year. Unfortunately, it was right at the beginning of COVID, so we had to stop. We normally reach out to about 375 for our subsidized program, but again, because of COVID, we had to stop placing the youth. So we were able to reach our goal of reach a goal of 322. And then for the subsidized program, normally we reach out to 625 youth for a total of 1,000 every year. But this last year, again, due to COVID, we were only able to place 543. So for the upcoming cohorts, we are anticipating reaching out to those youth that we unfortunately weren't able to assist moving forward. I'm going to turn over the next slide to Israel so he can give you an update on what we're doing currently.
So San Jose Works 6.0, we will implement 1,000 jobs, summer job placements this this coming year, and COVID will impact that work as well. Opportunities, we're going to have PRNS, the Mayor's Gun Prevention Task Force, will be assisting in placing 150 subsidized youth into some of the programs that were discussed earlier, like from the library. They have, again, the library has played a significant role in the work that we've done. There are through partnership and also our community centers, except that this year, because of COVID, we haven't been able to place that many youth in our community centers. However, many youth assisted with food distribution during the summertime. In terms of Work to Future, they'll be having 225 subsidized youth, and I believe that they met some of the goals and objectives for this summer, and 625 unsubsidized youth. Again, I want to take a moment to briefly read a letter from a parent that we assisted during the summer program, and it reads like this, and it was directed to the mayor, myself, Victor, Justin, Anthony, Samantha, and Jessica, and it reads, and it goes like this: if we were not in the middle of a pandemic doing our best to keep ourselves and others healthy through mask, hand washing, social distancing, and any other possible means, I would come and give each and every one of you a giant mama hug. We were lost, and we were sure we were losing our son. We had looked under almost every rock, stone, in an attempt to find something, anything, anyone, anywhere, to welcome Isaiah into their ship sinking or not. Then through one conversation from one person to another, there was hope. I'll forever remember Israel's first conversation with me when he told me that I must have won the golden ticket. In fact, I believe I did. In just 3.5 weeks, Isaiah went from declaring that he was done with school and wanted to become a rapper, supporting himself by working at Shoe Palace and at a fast food place, to giving me a tour of Emma Krush Farm Park, saying, "We have a cow and a pig too." The pride and sense of ownership he has is wonderful to see. Since the beginning of May, I've been looking at less traditional school settings, which were only the type of schools we would consider. Unfortunately, we found nothing that would meet his learning and social needs. Then came you. Then came you all. He is now willing to attend school via distance learning and is having calm and respectful conversations with us. I attribute the change to two things: our participation in the parent project class we just completed week 7, and each and every one of you. There is nothing I can say or do that can show the depth of gratitude I have for the aligning of the stars you that brought some order, civility, and peace to our family. So I would just say thank you with greatest appreciation. So again, I think that the program itself, a lot of times we don't see that, right? We don't, you don't see that because we're always busy with everything that we're doing. But I just wanted to share that story with you because I say a story. It really is a combination of two things. One is youth intervention services, and secondly, the fact that we had the San Jose Works program right at the time that they reached out to us, and we were able to get the youth enrolled into Emma Cruz. Something that he really wanted to do was to work with animals, and because the our facility, not all our facilities are open, right? So therefore, Emma Cruz was the next best place for him to be placed, and he's doing very well. But it takes, it takes a lot of folks to help, right? And so my staff was there for him, and so was everybody else. I just wanted to make sure I share that story with you.
And just to
Thank you.
mention, we're doing it a little bit differently this year. Usually we serve all 375, but because of COVID and we weren't sure of the impact with the economy, we're serving them a little differently. Our first cohort was 175. We're starting our second cohort, which is 100 for the goal, and then our third cohort will be 100 to make up the 375, and then plus the additional that we didn't serve because of COVID.
Great. And that takes us to the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.
And if I could just jump in really quick. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties at the beginning of the presentation and couldn't get on, but I just want to acknowledge, as you've seen, this is a truly cross-departmental effort, and I'm so glad that the committee got to hear from some of the great staff who are doing a lot of this work, but definitely folks who are leading it. And so, as Adrian said, we're all here to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a wonderful presentation. I myself was having technical issues, so completely understand. All right, so I'm going to go to the public. And do we have anybody, Tony? Yes, it looks like Mr. Beekman. Please unmute yourself and go ahead and begin to speak.
Howdy do. Happy Thursday. Back to work day. Thank you for this item. I think it really, it seems to complement the work that you did at the City Council meeting on Tuesday, where you had a lot of items talk about housing and the future of very low income housing, which was really nice of you. Thank you. And it was a real effort, by everyone. So thanks for that meeting. It was described that, you're going to be trying to start up new ideas of, I guess maybe integrating is the word, how to develop a neighborhood that can, be more inclusive to different income levels. And, to be honest, for as much as I'm hopeful, it's a bit hard to explain that still. And there's obviously, I've been learning, there's people around the city who are not at all comfortable with the idea of it. It's programs like this, what you're describing today, that, it's a part of a series of things that you're working towards. So I hope when you speak about housing in the future, you will mention programs like this today. And to note, I go through the same thing with my accountability with technology things, that it is a process that it offers incredible civil rights and civil protections for all people. And it's just a matter of how to share that. We're used to a certain system of sharing, and what a chance to open up that sharing process. Now, what do you do once you open up that sharing process? That's what you're dealing with the housing issue, and possibly this issue, is how to think of yourself as being more geared towards college and the ideas of college, and that's important. And how do we learn to address that and make it a whole community process? And so I wish all of ourselves luck in, or just good work, and how we can develop this openly together and not hurt anybody. So good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beekman. Let's go on to our next caller, and phone number ending in 5140. Go ahead and unmute yourself and you're ready to go. Okay, this is caller with the number ending in 5140. It looks like you're still muted. Okay, it looks like they're still muted, so I'm going to move on to, oh, there we go. Okay, so let's move on to Ed Alvarez, and then we can come back to caller 5140. Go ahead, Ed, unmute yourself and begin your public comments.
Hi, this is Tony. Ed was briefly unmuted, so he may not have realized that he muted himself again.
Okay, is that okay now?
There you go.
Okay, so I'm chair of the East San Jose Education Coalition. Our members include the Latino Education Advancement Foundation, Silicon Valley Education Foundation, San Jose Evergreen Community College District, Santa Clara County Office of Education, and the Hispanic Foundation of Silicon Valley. Our focus is low-income students in East San Jose high schools. Every year, 3,500 students graduate that are low income, social economic disadvantage category, free and reduced lunch. And the data is clear as to what's happening with these students. 37% of them do not enroll in college. Only 12% enroll in a four-year school, and less than half the remaining students enroll in a community college. So we're beginning this work, and we've received some startup funds from the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, and we want to pursue our work as it's so needed. We're asking the city to participate with us and others to achieve the goal. The reality is that something's wrong with the school funding system when Mountain View High School receives state support of $23,000 per student, while all of the schools serving low-income students in East San Jose receive only $11,000 per student. Until that disparity is corrected, we need to look to philanthropy and local government to address this issue. So we expect to make a case for an increased investment through an independent organization such as ours to ultimately raise $10 million so that we can pursue the implementation of strategies which we know will make a difference for students and provide increased college opportunities. So what we're asking the city is to take a look at all of the programs that you're conducting, obviously good programs, and how many students, low-income students in East San Jose schools are being served by that, because the results right now are disappointing. Academic achievement is disappointing. 86% of these students graduate not proficient in math, and 56% graduate not proficient in English. That's the problem that we have to take a look at. And it's obviously a large problem, and we're looking for partners to join us and the other organizations that are beginning this process of addressing these issues and bringing focus on them. So thank you for the time, Chairman Adenis.
Thank you, Ed. Next, we have a caller with the numbers ending 5140. Looks like you're queued up. Oops, not anymore. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin public comment.
Yeah, I was unsure. What topic are you guys on right now?
We're on college and career readiness.
I'm sorry, I still can't.
We're on our first topic of college and career readiness.
Oh, sorry, but yeah, I was. Did something get switched around in the meeting? No biggie. No, I mean the biggest thing you can ever do is, try community college or trade school, because a university degree costs a lot of money, and I don't think people realize how expensive it is. And these school administrators keep raising the tuitions, fees, and the bankers keep loaning the money, and people find themselves in debt even when they have a great job. Once they've retired, they're complete debt slaves. So I really recommend other avenues than to try to go to school without any money or have to borrow it. It's not economically feasible anymore if you become a medical doctor.
Thank you, sir. All right, it looks like we are done with public comment, unless I missed anyone, which I don't think I have. All right, so I'm going to go to my colleagues and see. Oh, Councilmember Carrasco, go ahead.
I thank you. I want to thank staff for the report, and I'm always very grateful for the support that we're giving our kids, especially in those areas that we know where our kiddos are struggling. If you could all turn to the memorandum, page 10 of 11, I want to point something out that I'd like to just get some further understanding from each and every one of you who's been involved in job placement, because this was an interesting point to me. It's the first paragraph in the unsubsidized program, and I'd like to draw your attention to that very first paragraph where the placement of some of our kiddos were in Shoe Palace, Forever 21, Safeway, Jamba Juice. Among some of the other ones were also DoorDash. So if you could help me understand why we're helping kids access the kinds of jobs that they could probably access on their own versus getting them a foot into some of these other kinds of opportunities that they wouldn't have on their own.
Monique Melcher, Work to Future. So we actually, what happens is a lot of the youth, this is their first time looking for employment. So they need the work readiness that we provide to them, resume, interviewing, just the basic kind of soft skills that they need to know going into an employer. This is for the unsubsidized program. So this is what we're doing on top of the subsidized. We try to place them within businesses as well, but their interests are mostly within their work schedule, school schedule, sorry about that, to try to get them something that introduces them to work. And they, for the most part, are just looking for assistance for that. They technically could take advantage of our other program as well, but if they're a little bit older, then we put them into the unsubsidized program. So these jobs are just anything that's available in the community for these youth to take advantage of, because this is the first time that they're actually entering the workforce. Yeah. So they are asking us for any type of position that they could get that experience in, because they haven't worked in the past.
So thank you for that clarification. And I understand, my first job was at Carl's Jr. And then from Carl's Jr., I went into a Mexican restaurant. Actually, that's where I learned how to cook before I learned how to cook in my mom's kitchen. And that actually propelled me to have a lot more confidence and start moving into social work and really started building my resume from there. So I completely get that. But when I actually used a program very similar to San Jose Works when I was in high school, they put me into jobs and opportunities that completely escaped my imagination, right? I thought about going into fast food, and they said, nope, we're going to teach you office skills, right? And they put me into a program to learn office etiquette, and at that time it was typing. We're not using typewriters anymore. I learned how to file. I learned how to do all kinds of things that I know it's completely obsolete at this point, but nonetheless, it exposed me to something that I had never thought about. And definitely my mother would have never put me through there. She was a cannery worker. And so I envision the program that we're investing our resources and our staff time to be able to give these young folks opportunities that they wouldn't even imagine. And I know that they're thinking, how do I build my resume? How do I get my first job? But I would think that we would want to really start funneling them into opportunities that they haven't even thought about because they haven't been exposed, right? I came from a blue collar working family, all cannery workers or field workers. Never in my wildest imagination would I have ever thought about social work, much less politics. But I would have never thought about medical school. I never would have thought about a techie job. My entire world was either I was going to get into cannery work, I was going to get into babysitting, or I was going to get into some sort of a food industry.
And that's what we do with our subsidized program. So the subsidized program does go into the industries, construction, manufacturing, ICT, healthcare. So we do situate 375 youth typically into those type of career opportunities because we only have so much funding available for wages. That's why we do unsub and subsidized. So for our subsidized, that is exactly the message that we're trying to send out to the youth, that there are other opportunities available. So we try to situate.
But my point is, Monique, sending the message is not enough as much as it is exposure. If you don't expose them, they don't get it. The message is not loud and clear. They have to be in the surrounding. They have to sit in that chair. They have to sit across that boardroom. Otherwise, you don't get that message. Mm-hmm. And so I understand the subsidized versus the unsubsidized. And so my thinking process along these lines would be, then we need to reach out to more companies to say, I'm sorry, I don't have any more funding to subsidize this program, but you should be opening up greater doors and opportunities, just like Jamba Juice needs a greater workforce. What could you potentially offer these kiddos? And so how many kiddos came in through our unsubsidized program?
543 the last.
So in all of the Fortune 500 companies, we can't find 500 slots.
So what we do also is we enroll them into our Work to Future program. So if they're interested in looking at another type of training or work experience, then we can assist them there. Unfortunately, not all the kids do because of other, they may be in school, they may have other issues.
You're putting the burden of them having to go into what is a typical, very easy to get fast food restaurant, which I'm not happy about. And then you're asking them to get into a training that will open up other doors. And so, when you look at other parts of the city, they get into other jobs. They get paid with having nothing on their resume, by the way, because they just fit the criteria in other different ways. And I'm not going to get into that. I think you can kind of read in between the lines.
Right.
And so I'm going to be looking to see, how do we open up more doors in those unsubsidized slots that are not DoorDash? Why do we need to get them into DoorDash? They can get into DoorDash by themselves. I've talked to the reps at DoorDash, and they have like these great programs. They'll make okay money. There was a big political fight, Prop 22, but we don't need to help them get into DoorDash. we need to help them get into Google or Facebook, even if it means just sitting at a computer, trying to understand and learn paid at a minimum wage. I just think that 500 kids that went through our program, we can find 500 slots at a community college that can provide one slot at Evergreen, one slot at San Jose City College, one slot at Mission, one slot at, I mean, we can cobble it together and find 500 slots. I mean, we need to get creative, and especially for East Side kids or kids who have been coming from households where exposure is really difficult and it's critical. This is the way we're going to get kids out of poverty. And so that's all I have, Chair. But I think you guys have all done a fantastic job. I think I'm gonna say we can do better when it comes to placing our kids and exposing them. We can do better.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Seeing that there's no other hands raised, I'm going to go into my comments, and so not to reiterate this point, but I did have some questions regarding to what you just finished bringing up, Councilmember Carrasco, and so I also had a concern about the number of students that we are able to invest in during the summer, and it almost seems like maybe it should be backwards, like the kiddos that we give access to maybe higher end jobs should be the older students instead of the high school students. Maybe the high school students need just, you know, some lunch money or whatever, or maybe contribute to their household for whatever reason. It just seems like, and I'll use my experience with, and Monique, you were great in allowing us to have 2 kiddos, not this summer, last summer. And unfortunately, you know, it's my time that the only time that we don't meet for council. So I wasn't really able to connect with these 2 kiddos, except for I think like 1 week or so. And so for me, it would have been really meaningful for me to have these kiddos throughout the year. I know the intent is to keep them in school, but the fact is that something else is going to take their time. So either a meaningful interaction like ours can take their time, or other issues that maybe youth intervention services are going to eventually help us to avoid or to intercept in these families, as we heard in that letter. And so one of the recommendations, and I'd love to see how we can grow this program to be more than just summer, and to funnel some of these interns into our own City of San Jose intern programs, because I would absolutely pay for an intern program in my office if we were allowed to do that. And I know, Monique, we kind of had a little bit of this conversation. It's not allowed because, you know, these are high school students, but I think what we need to do, and I think what Councilmember Carrasco was talking about, is really opportunities, right? And so how can we kind of pivot this just slightly so that we can provide meaningful opportunities? Because when we are paying for this internship in another company, that other company has no investment in that intern. They've made really no investment. I mean, they're not paying for their wages. They're actually getting the benefit of our contribution and our investment in youth, right? And so I think we also need to see, what is that investment from that side, from the tech companies, or, you know, whatever companies that we partner with. What can they meaningfully provide for our interns? Maybe this could be part of the continuum of services that you all have. So that intern who's 17 or 16 could, you know, maybe receive an all year round if possible, or could be part of the San Jose Engage program as a next step, right? And because of that, they're now connected to another circle of friends. Now they found maybe a voice that they've been wanting to explore, and then maybe they get into the next program that you have. And so for me, not only was this point really important, I'm glad that Councilmember Carrasco made it about the employment piece, but I think it goes to a larger point, and it is how are we, what are the relationships between these programs and the resources that we have, and all of these programming, how do they build up on each other so that we can have the results and the impact that we want for the youth? And so one of my questions was going to be, Jill, and I know you've done this for other programs, is have you done a logic model for this continuum of services?
I think that we have done some of that work. We've done it for the expanded learning, but I think it's a really good point, especially because now we're able to, as you saw today, we have programs that are running across departments. And, last year when we reported to the committee, a lot of these programs were in startup mode with the exception of SJ Works. And now that we've got programs that are all working full steam, I think it's a good idea for us to do just that. So we will take that recommendation and be able to come back with a cross-departmental logic model.
That would be wonderful. So we can all be in line with the general outcome and impact, the ultimate impact. And I'll tell you that I'm gonna challenge you even one more so that we can have, so we can also be aligned at a county level. And we have a Bill of Rights for children and youth. And there's Kids in Common produces a report every year. And the one that has to do with this particular item is Bill of Right number 7, which is Santa Clara County youth and children have employment opportunities and protection from unfair labor. And so here it says, in 2017, students left. This is in particular to students leaving high school before graduation. And so we have some work to do, and we've been improving. But compared to the national level, we still have some work to do. And then in addition to that, Kids in Common adds an ethnic gap to see if is there a particular ethnic gap in this particular outcome. And so here it does say students left school before graduation at a rate of 2.7 per thousand compared to 2.9 in 2006. 5.8 per 1,000 Latinx students compared to Asian students did. And then here it's 9.1 of 18 to 24-year-olds in Santa Clara County do not have a high school diploma. Obviously, you're already in line with this goal. You're probably contributing to the level of improvement of this goal. I think that yet they have to show some progress. I think this was left blank, so it doesn't have a green or a yellow, which means are we at a national standard, or are we kind of just at meeting the standard and not excelling in the standard, or is there an ethnic gap? And the only information is that they do have an ethnic gap, but we don't have a kind of a performance there. And so I think this is also a really good opportunity for us to align ourselves to the Bill of Rights. There's another one here that also has to do Bill of Right number 5, they have access to 24th century education that promote success in life and future careers and lifelong learning. And so it has a lot of information in terms of gaps and ethnic gaps that we should be aware of. So that way we can lend our resources or focus our resources in those areas that we need improvement in, right? And so if we know this to be true in our county, then we would expect to have a higher percentage or higher focus of Latino students, especially that has to do in this particular with third grade reading level. It would mean, and I know that there's already some really great work going towards preschoolers. It's just really good information in terms of how Kids in Common is already evaluating our county. And then where do we stand in line in terms of alignment in goals? Are we walking towards the same outcomes? Are we also acknowledging the same gaps in ethnicity? And of course, with COVID, it's just one additional layer. I mean, it's just absolutely terrible there, right? So one of the things that I was really struck with that this report said was, fairness is not advanced by treating those who are situated differently as if they were the same. So a policy that is neutral in design isn't necessarily neutral in effect, right? And so for me, this really just rang true. And when I was looking at the report and thinking, how are all of these programs lining up, one, to the impact that we want to make, and what is the impact that we want to make, and are they sufficient to deliver the results that we want? Maybe we need more, right? Obviously, we don't need more. Question is always more. We always need more. Because there's some really great work evident, and I'm sure that there's more letters like the one that Israel read. There's obviously an impact that you're making in our youth. I think that now we need to take a look at the resources that we have around us and ask for those folks that we've been providing free internships over the years. What are you willing to invest? What's your skin in the game, right? Because if they have no skin in the game, they're not going to hire that person. They're not going to continue with any training. They're not, they're going to assume that they're somebody else's focus and on somebody else's radar. And so for me, so that's my piece in terms of just the general sentiment about the programs. I know that there's some really great work. I was absolutely impressed with like the mini grants that you pivoted, you made sure that you had laptops that you wanted to give away. I thought that was really, really cool. But yet again, and I'm really, listen, I'm not trying to be ungrateful because like there was three of the schools are in my district of the kids who received the laptops. And so I'm absolutely grateful because of that. But I know for Chaboya Middle School, Evergreen High School, Yerba Buena, I think Yerba Buena is in my district. It is not. It is in Councilmember Esparza. They're always confusing us. And so now I'm confusing myself with Councilmember Esparza too. But to look at some of these high schools, I think, some of these high schools, are they the same kiddos who are maybe doing the online high school program? And I would think maybe they would be given a higher priority. Granted, they're already online, but maybe they have this slow processor I'm not even going to pretend, in a computer, right? That just doesn't work the same way. Maybe theirs isn't as fancy. And so this just brings back my point about how are we scaffolding the success of our youth and our students so that way we can see the ultimate impact. And I think that just the type of programming that we have and the people who are in these programs, who are running these programs, I know that there is so much heart and so much passion in making sure that we have a really good, successful program to offer, right? Because sometimes this is the saving grace for some of these, because this is what is going to turn them around. And so it's not on any of your particular or very specific work. And so I just wanted to make sure, first of all, you knew that, and I just want to be really grateful for that, for the work that you do each and every day on any of the number of these programs, because if our youth is somehow being given opportunities now, it's because of the program and activities that you're doing. So I just would love to have a greater impact, because I know that a lot of our children of color are falling behind, especially during COVID. And I know that you all agree. And so I think this is the time to start lining up our programs in order to be ready for when we see our kids back physically in school, and we actually see the result of all of this 10-month online programming, so that we can be ready for them, and that we can, in the same way we did, and I just want to commend you with the college and career readiness quality standards, absolutely impeccable. I would love to have maybe some of the folks, Ed Alvarez called in, and I've made a note about, he represents, I think, 3 different organizations, the San Jose Education Coalition. And just so that we can hear, I think most of them were universities and community colleges that contributed to the college and readiness quality standards, and as it should be. But then maybe we should have another go at it with some of the stakeholders who are working with our ethnic groups and the groups that have been already evaluated with the Kids in Common Bill of Rights report that not faring well, so that we can see these programs through their eyes. This is just comments, but this is my last question would be, I know this is, you're just beginning the quality and career readiness quality standards, put them together. You had a really wonderful coalition of folks coming in. It took you some months to get through, and so I'm really grateful to see it's absolutely, it seems very thorough. How have you started already running some of these programs through the quality standards, or are you waiting first for approval from council and then running through? How are you thinking that's going to work?
I was going to ask if Adrian wants to comment on the programs and whether you've started implementing the standards yet.
We were waiting for council approval, and then the plan was for San Jose Aspires to be the first program that we really look at it through the college and career readiness quality standards lens.
Great. Okay, so now that you talked about the San Jose Aspires, I'm just going to go into something that I saw in terms of the amount of money that goes towards any of these items. So say school attendance is $100. I'm guessing if you have a good school attendance and some level of standard, that you'll receive $100 at the end. And I heard loud and clear, freshmen can and sophomore can receive a certain amount, $1,200, and then, or something like that. And then seniors up to $5,000, right? But here it also has play on athletics team, and that has $150. Learn to code is $100. Participate in San Jose Engage, $50. I would think that we want them to actually really participate in San Jose Engage more than an athletic team, but I see how that would play well on a college resume, right? So not to dissuade anybody from their goals. I just, when I was looking at some of these things, I thought some of the students who would be more able to, I don't know, write an essay or get create a resume, or I think a letter of recommendation, might be the students who are already maybe on track, right? Although all of these kiddos are not necessarily, they're working towards that. It's just that I think there's a difference between some of the students who have maybe a higher economic need in their household, and the time that they can devote to writing an essay or being part of a, whatever these additional things are. But then they're certainly, their focus and intent is to do well. And so how do we balance those awards so that we don't penalize students who just may not have the time or the capacity to do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to note one critical piece of the program, which I think that Adrian has put together with the first pilot school that worked with us, is that it is a program that provides mentoring support to the youth. So the intent is to find kids who maybe wouldn't have known how to write a college essay, and therefore they're not on their own in this online platform. They actually are getting support at school and through the platform and through being in this program. And so their educators have identified them as a good candidate. And the program is intended to help sort of broaden out this this whole spectrum of experiences that make one more college ready or, you know, continuing education ready.
Got it. You know, it just the words of I think it was a parent who wrote the letter that Israel that you read, and he or she said something like there was an aligning of the stars, right? Like there was a cosmic miracle almost for this thing to happen, and we want to emulate this cosmic miracle and align all of these objectives and activities and our inputs and our outputs so that we can offer as many cosmic alignment of the stars for as many families possible. And I know that you all want the same thing. And so, you know, this is my feedback and seeing some of, I think we all have the same goals in terms of supporting our youth. And so I hope that you can see my feedback in that spirit. I just thought that how wonderful that this happened to her kiddo, and how unfortunate it is that she thinks that the stars need to be aligned for all of this to work, right? This should be really working for our students, like, you know, just on the go. But we're getting there, right? You guys already doing the work, obviously, the hardest part of this job. And I'm just coming in from an outside point of view, providing some input. And so I appreciate all of the work. I wasn't sure if anybody else had any more comments. Otherwise, I will ask for a motion.
So moved.
I'm sorry, I had a comment.
Okay.
My hand raised.
Oh, you know what? I can't, it didn't show, Councilmember.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm sorry. I've had a lot of technical issues. I just realized.
Got kicked out. Maybe that's, it went down.
Yeah, I did. I got kicked out and I had to come in on another device. So my
No,
apologies.
no worries. No,
I'll be really brief
No,
because I
go
support
right ahead.
I support Councilmember Foley's motion. First, I wanted to say thank you. I know that this is a tremendous amount of work, and I and several of my colleagues on this committee, we've all worked with youth, all of us, and we understand how important it is to mentor kids and provide the life skills that people need. And so I think all of us get that. But I wanted to just kind of tack on to Councilmember Carrasco's comments. You know, as a former school board member, and you've got 4 of us on this one committee, right? As a former school board member, one of the things that you think about the most is, yes, you want kids to be able to read and write and do math, but really it's our job to prepare them for that 21st century education in that job. And that's something that every school is always trying to think of, how we're preparing the next generation of children. And you know, when we look at San Jose Works, you know, I don't see that, and I wanted to bring that up because I so often, when I meet with tech leaders, or I've met with the Silicon Valley Leadership Group and other organizations, and I always bring up the fact that, you know, I represent a district, I'm not the only one, but I represent a district that has kids that are growing up in the shadows of Silicon Valley, but they don't live in Silicon Valley. It's not their reality at all. And so if we really want to change the trajectory of their future, we need to expose them to opportunities. And that means even if it's getting coffee at Google, they're able to be exposed to all sorts of things at Google. They're able to be mentored by people that work in Adobe, right? They're being able to build those relationships and those expectations and understand that there's this whole other world that they don't get to see. And through a program like ours, they could have that opportunity to see that. And that's what changes their perceptions of where they fit in to San Jose and Silicon Valley. And so I wanted to thank my colleagues for bringing up that point, and to say that I am very grateful. I know Councilmember Arenas and I always talk about our schools, Silver Creek and Overfell, right? Silver Creek's in her district, but a lot of those families live in mine. We share these families. And so we know these families and appreciate very much the intensive efforts that city staff is providing to our communities. I think what we're saying is we appreciate it, but we really need to expose these kids to the future. So thank you very much.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Tony, would you do the honors?
I'm sorry, Chair.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if I could just make one last comment before we take a vote, because it's just something that it's still gnawing at me. And that's really, again, as Councilmember Esparza just mentioned again, is the importance of exposure. I want to tell you just a quick little story, and I'm sure we all have a bag full of little stories that can go either way. But I want to tell you a quick little 30-second story of a young man born and raised on the East Side with some very, very, very difficult challenges. And this young man, who had a public education, went to all of the East Side schools, really grew up in a very challenging neighborhood, and graduated from Independence High School. You know, I had a great opportunity to be able to mentor him, was able to expose him, and I can't expose, you know, I don't have the wherewithal, the bandwidth, or the resources personally to do that to, you know, 10,000 of our kids, or even 500. But this young man went on to get internships in New York because we were able to support him and push him and just connect him to the right individuals. Was able to continue his education, started off at junior college, graduated from University of Southern California, got an internship with Snoop Dogg's reality TV show, and now travels all over the world representing some, you know, I couldn't tell you who they are because I'm not a big sports fan, but some of the biggest sports names in the biz. And so, you know, and it's all attributed to the fact that he had the exposure, especially to a world that was not on the East Side. It just wasn't. It was something that he had to be pushed into and had to be encouraged and had to really build his resume and his confidence. And like I said, I'm sure we all have those stories. We all have those stories. And so this is actually my godson. And so, you know, we all take great pride in raising more than just our birth children. We raise a whole village of children, and I'm very proud of him for doing the work that he's doing. But it was challenging. It was a constant struggle every step of the way. And I knew that the only way to really get him on this track was to pull him out of his comfort zone and push him into areas that were not typical of where he usually was used to getting into. You know, as a result, he was sent to New York to start up a public, a marketing firm from the ground up. And anyway, so I guess what I want to ask is what can any one of you suggest in terms of how we can expand that unsubsidized program so that we can give those kiddos that are participating in the unsubsidized program the same kinds of opportunities that we see the students that are in the subsidized programs have?
So we did start a mentorship program, which is, this is the first year we're piloting it, and we really do want to expand to all the youth that we can. So we're going to be looking at hopefully getting it out there to all the youth that we serve. so far it's been great. Just the small pilot that we did and very effective. So definitely that's something that we're going to be working towards in the future.
Council member, and you know, I think we also got to put another variable on the table too, and I think there's a bit of a disconnect. You know, when you often hear, for example, private sector leaders, oftentimes they'll talk about youth being kind of the future of the country, the youth being, but the reality is that a lot of these companies, it's very difficult to have them create entry-level positions, especially positions that they would have to pay for in their companies. And so I think we also need to look at a strategy where we basically identify leaders and other influential people in our community to go along with our staff to help open these doors. Because I will tell you this, I have seen our staff try to make these inroads, but at the end of the day, unless you have someone that you know to influence that decision, you know, quite frankly, a lot of these companies are not interested in giving a entry-level youth an opportunity, because bottom line, it doesn't make business sense, right? Unless you have such a margin or you have an intentional, you know, focus in your company that you're actually making some exceptions. So I do want to put that on the table, because I have seen a lot of, you know, closed doors. And then this gets even more complicated when you factor in higher risk youth with more risk factors, where we're basically having to convince somebody that, hey, can you give somebody a shot? I recognize there's all these other issues, but we're trying to, you know, kind of create an entry point here. So I think it would be good to kind of create some space for us to do a good strategy session around how we tap into other leaders in the Valley to help us open some of these doors to make this happen, because I think the input is right on. We need to find more meaningful placements. They're more long-term, they have a more, you know, residual impact in terms of opening doors for long-term, and that really addresses income inequality, you know, all the other issues that we're trying to address. But I do think we're going to need some help on the front end there, quite frankly.
If I could also just make a suggestion just for you to put on your potential list of employers. You know, I have often thought that it's a wonderful opportunity for young people to get into the world of development. You know, not just construction and banging on nails, but the whole world of development, which is financing, architecture, you know, permitting, the whole gamut, right? And of course, we know that the housing crisis is going to be here for a really long time. And so developers, brand new developers, as well as very seasoned developers, startups, as well as very, very wealthy developers, they're here and they run the gamut. And so I think that that's also a great opportunity for our youth to start looking at whether or not that's even a career path as well. San Luis Obispo has a great career path for developers, not just construction workers. But speaking of construction, you've got the unions, the trades, but also the different unions. And I'm not talking again about just carrying a cement bag or banging on a hammer, but what is it to organize? Are kids interested in organizing? Are they interested in unionizing? Are they interested in that kind of work? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. It's not, and I'm not advocating necessarily for everyone to be a union organizer. My point is that I think that a lot of folks don't know that that is also a career path for a lot of people, and they make very good money. And so I think that because we have some natural allies there, they should be opening up doors for youth, especially our kids who are really struggling to find their way. But educational institutions, in my opinion, and the medical centers is another path. I don't think we should always be looking at Silicon Valley Fortune 500 companies. You know, maybe it's just not in their DNA right now until they get pushed in another direction. Maybe another pandemic will do it for them. But you know. But maybe it is in the DNA of a medical center, unions, trades, developers. You know, I think we need to really think outside of the box. But I just have to tell you, when I see our kids getting a job at DoorDash, I think it's an honorable job. I just don't think it's our job to place them in DoorDash. I think it's our job to take those kids and give them the opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have. So anyway, thank you so much. And I'm supporting the motion.
Point well taken. Yep. And I like Jill and Chair Arenas' idea of maybe looking at a cross-departmental logic model and really kind of connecting all these pieces in terms of this whole college readiness piece. Because at the end of the day, these are also interconnected. And so we will we'll take that back and work on that interdepartmentally and make some progress on this.
I appreciate that, Angel. And then we can begin, I had made this comment earlier too. We can begin our own intern, right? Feeding those summer jobs into all year jobs within our own city of San Jose. All right. Go ahead, Tony. Take it away.
Jimenez?
Yes.
Jimenez said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said
Sorry,
No.
yes, but
Thank
thank you
you.
for that, Councilmember Arenas.
Foley?
Aye.
Esparza?
Yes.
Roscoe?
Aye.
Arenas?
Yes.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next item. And thank you so much, everyone, for the presentation. We're going to move into Neighborhood Center Partner Program Update. This is with PRNS.
Good afternoon. This is Andrea Flores-Shelton, Interim Deputy Director. I am here with House Benjenberg, Interim Division Manager, and I'd like to announce that Pauline Keck is the newly promoted Recreation Supervisor, overseeing the Neighborhood Center Partner Program. She'll be presenting with me, so congratulations to Pauline. And then I also have Nicole Berman from our PRNS Capital team and Walter Lynn from Public Works here to answer any questions. So with that, today we are going to give a status update on the NCPP priorities and goals, and also give you an update on our RFQ and COVID-related programs and services. So just a little bit of where we've been. You'll recall that the Neighborhood Service Partner Program, and Pauline, can you just close out the notes? And show the slide there. Yeah. This was formerly known as the Reuse Program, and we are trying to call it the Neighborhood Center Partner Program. And this, just a quick history of it, this was created after the first major economic downturn almost 20 years ago. It was developed as an approach to maintain a level of public benefit while reducing general fund obligations and continuing to keep community centers alive and thriving in our neighborhoods. Subsequently, a council policy 7-12 codified this program, and it has been going on for quite some time. In addition to the community centers, it also manages our 6 public pools. And in 2018, it was the subject of an audit. And so I don't know if we have the slides back up. We're having a little technical difficulty. So you should have the copy of the slides as well. So in 2018, the city auditor conducted an audit of the then called Community Center Reuse Program. And from that audit, we continue to work with the auditor's office to meet those expectations. But we developed a work plan that we presented to you last year. And this slide is an overview of those priorities and goals. So I just want to recap that we seek to maintain quality facilities, safe quality facilities for neighborhood services. We're seeking to ensure timely, transparent processes for operator selection. We seek to establish consistent enforcement and accountability standards and metrics, and also improve community access and knowledge of activities. And finally, increase the number of providers and services in disadvantaged communities. So we're going to go over the status of where we are with these priority and goals. And I also just want to contextualize, of course, that we had a pretty aggressive timeline that has been stymied by COVID, but we do have updates on how we'd like to move forward with moving forward those goals and objectives. So with that, I'll turn it over to Pauline.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the 1920 budget, Council approved $1.25 million for the assessment and maintenance of the Neighborhood Center Partner Program facilities. To address priority and goal number 1, we have submitted work orders for the most critical repairs. Work orders include replacing flooring at Capitol Park that has water damage to the subfloor, replacing HVAC at sites like Bethesda and Hammond. Current units are 50 plus years old. Replacing and upgrading restroom lighting for safety at Alma and Alum Rock Youth Center. Most of the work orders that we submitted were to address health and safety concerns. Those are just a few examples of the work orders submitted. I do want to say that, currently the city is challenged during this time as our Public Works Department is inundated with return to work facility improvements and limited staffing. So the timeline for assessments and completion of work orders is unclear. And then now we'll go into a status of our current inventory. So we currently have 31 sites in our inventory. From 2017 to 2019, we started out with 39 facilities. And then in December of 2019, council approved for the removal of 6 sites to be transferred to department operations. These sites have been operated by PRNS for many years, so the recommendation to transfer the sites was just to make it official. So you'll see a list of the 6 sites that were transferred, and then the programs that were run there pre-COVID. And then 1 site was also transferred back to the school district. That's McKinley Youth Center. McKinley was relinquished back to the school district, and we connected our partners, Com University, with the school district for them to formalize their own agreement that allowed for continuation of services. And then that brought us to 32 centers, but about a week and a half ago, council approved the transfer of West San Jose Community Center over to the housing department, and that is slated for affordable housing. Currently at the West San Jose Community Center, we have our partner, the Silicon Valley Korean American Federation. And the housing will honor their the PRNS current contract that they have, and the Federation will have the opportunity to apply to the upcoming RFQ to obtain another facility. So that brings our total inventory to 31. And then, as I mentioned, the Federation will be able to apply to an RFQ. So the department was prepared to release an RFQ in March of 2020, but we had to postpone due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that the city is in stage 7 of the pandemic response plan, we plan to release the new RFQ in January of 2021. And this is to align with priority and goal number 1 that Andrea mentioned earlier, to ensure timely, transparent processes for operator selection. Once a qualified list is established, the department, with guidance from the EOC, will assess the status of the emergency to determine whether to extend the existing contracts or to utilize the new list. So most of our operations at our centers have been suspended due to the pandemic, but some partners are providing essential services, and we want to ensure that if we are still in emergency during that time, that there is no disruptions to essential services. We also need to reevaluate and see if during that time, if it's safe to move people and programs. And then even though I mentioned earlier that most of the programs have been suspended at our sites, I do want to note that, or highlight that, we do have operations at some of our sites for, essential services. Here I'm going to highlight the Vietnamese American Cultural Center. The center has been a site for food distribution operations. They've done pop-up COVID testing over 3 days, and they've had a great turnout. They were also a census HQ. They've participated in being a clean air and cooling center. And most recently, it was a 4-day boat center. In the photo, you'll see our essential staff. It's Kuong and Huang. And then in the other photo, you'll see just the line that we had during the COVID pop-up testing. Other essential services, our partners, Boys and Girls Club, have been offering essential childcare services and distance learning assistance at Alum Rock Youth Center, Alviso Youth Center, Edenville Community Center, and Edenville Youth Center. And some of the photos are from our partners, and they're some of the kiddos that have been involved in programming. And then you'll see we also had services at Meadow Fair Community Center, Noble Modular, Starbird Youth Center, Washington Youth Center, and Welch Community Center. Programs range from preschool programs, rock and learn, and food distribution. In the photos, you'll see one of the child with the puppet. Kadango actually gave out backpacks to help kids with distance learning. And then in the photo next to that, that's the Rock and Learn program at Welch Community Center. You'll see they have their devices and they're getting distance learning assistance. Bottom left corner, that is the Rock and Learn program at Starbird Youth Center. And then to the right, that's the preschool program at Noble Modular. So our next steps for the Neighborhood Center Partner Program, under department will continue making progress on audit recommendations. And as building assessments are completed, the department will review and submit work orders consistent with the findings of those assessments and continue to advance priority and goal number 1. And then to advance priority and goal number 2, we will the RFQ in January 2021. And now we're available for questions.
Thank you so much. I particularly appreciate those pictures from some of those kiddos that are just absolutely fabulous. All right, so we're going to go to our public, and I see Mr. Beekman, you're first online. Go ahead and unmute yourself and begin public comment.
Hi, thank you. As the issues of community centers seems it can always be an open, shared dialogue, I hope I can talk here today how San Jose parks and community centers are always considering the ideas of technology and surveillance as well. This includes all the new neighborhood safety technology and surveillance that can be employed with new streetlights in parks and community centers. Bayuasi has had its bi-monthly public meeting today that offered San Jose will be purchasing ShotSpotter gunshot eavesdropper technology for the Cadillac area. This was brought to a San Jose neighborhood community meeting process in this past month. In this time of reimagine and to consider some of the earliest initial ideas of equity, equality, and racial equity, I'm thinking eavesdropping technology may be incredibly overrated. I hope we are learning to seriously question how it intrudes upon very well established civil rights and civil protection ideas and should only be used sparingly in the future. I hope it will continue to be considered from this how 10 shot spotters at the new North San Jose Berryessa BART station can do just about as much as the current 60 plus. Thank you for this item. To try to explain one more time, I'm hoping we're working towards a time where civil rights and civil protections can be a much more open and accessible process for people. At this time, it's a bit elite, and it's civil rights and civil protections can only be talked about by a certain few. And I think we're at a time, like how you're trying to address housing, that how can we address civil rights and civil protections again? How can it be an open subject that I think could bring a lot of knowledge to people and give people power and use the ideas of equity to work and move within community life really well and in really decent terms that I think shares a really good promising future for ourselves. So I just wanted to mention that it's difficult how to make those steps. It sounds like you're having the same difficulties to talk about how you can develop your housing ideas at this time. I hope we can learn to connect and work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beekman. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to turn to my colleagues now. I don't see any hands. All right, so I am going to ask questions. In case any of my colleagues would like to ask, please let me know. So Pauline, thank you once again for the presentation. There were great pictures, and it brings us that much closer to some of the great work that our partners are doing every day in these neighborhood center that we no longer run ourselves. And the last time that we and this program was really built, or I guess maybe a byproduct really from the last recession, right? We just couldn't afford to run all the programs that we have throughout the city. And unfortunately, I think, as difficult as it was, because I'm sure it was a very difficult decision to make, but it was a financial based decision that, that we've talked about before, in that we took a look at the centers that produce and are able to have full classes, and that people can actually pay for those activities and for those programs. And so I think now we need to fold into this neighborhood center partner program a bit of equity, and to see what are those locations that we can continue to have that should be potentially reopened. And I'm, very selfishly also talking about my particular neighborhood, as well as, neighborhoods in Councilmember Carrasco's district. But I certainly have a neighborhood that doesn't have access to their own community center. As you saw, Meadow Fair Community Center, one, it's absolutely tiny. I don't even know what they did before they took care of kids. Obviously, I think that's the best thing to do, because kids are so tiny, they fit in there, right? But I don't know what they did before that. But back to my question about how can we make up for what happened before? And I know this is a terrible time to be asking that question, but this is the time to actually ask it, because as we saw earlier this week, in terms of resources also getting cut off from our families, like YMCA in my district, potentially not having a pause there. And then added to that is, from years ago, an absence of community centers that provide city-run programming and services, because not everybody has children and finds a benefit to maybe the Meadow Fair neighborhood center. Just to use my particular example. And so are we getting close to maybe doing another run through of the programs to see which ones make sense, like some of the centers that are not being used by any other service provider, that might be being used to distribute food or to provide distance learning? Can we recognize that those are providing some really crucial benefits to our communities, and potentially put them back as a city-run program rather than under reuse, because they're obviously essential at this point for those communities?
It's a great question, Councilmember Arenas. And first, we just want to thank you for your ongoing support of activating Welch Community Center in a community that really needs it, and in a really strong neighborhood. So there's a couple aspects to this. Is one, we really do want to go back out for the RFQ and really assess the ability and the appetite of our nonprofit community to see as to what ability they have to bring to bear to operate some of these centers. Since we last did the RFQ, we have had some nonprofits vacate, and that's how Welch, Community Center became available. Capital Park and D5, available. So we really do want to seek out to see what that potential is. But we're also assessing from the equity and access perspective of Activate SJ. We're also looking at our hub community centers. So we're coming back to this committee in December with our annual review of fee activity. And we, in addition to neighborhood centers, we are still also trying to seek the widest accessibility through our hub programs and activities. So we have sort of two challenges there, creating a broader access at the hubs and activating our neighborhood center partners. So in terms of a revenue stream, we're still challenged with the revenue stream to activate hubs, and really need to seek to understand what level of capacity the nonprofit community has. And then once that RFQ is completed, we'll see which centers are available, which of those centers, and if there's a need and we need to operate those in communities that really do need access to community center services, especially essential services, then we would come up with some type of assessment or proposal at that time. So it's really a two-step process.
And the first step you're saying is the RFQ, to put out that RFQ?
Yes.
And what is the timeline on that?
We're hoping to release in January, and so we should have a list in the March-April timeframe. And again, as Pauline mentioned, assess our situation, right? In terms of, is there, do we just kind of have the status quo in terms of keeping certain providers where they are because of the pandemic? And it'll also help us understand if new providers come to the table, or if existing providers are walking away because they can't maintain a level of service. So it's going to tell us a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's important to know. And I think, I brought this up before at council, maybe some of you weren't there, but, at Welch Community Center, like you said, we've been trying really hard since we've started my term there to take back the park, because when I first started, there was folks who were basically living next to the facility, and not that it's huge, it's a little larger than Meadow Fair, but not by that much. But it's there, right? It's there for the community. And folks were not only living on the side of the building, but they were throwing their feces up on the roof, and there was prostitution in the bathrooms, and drug use everywhere, needles everywhere. And so I feel like the work that we're doing to encourage our community to, even through Project Hope, to take back, to revitalize that neighborhood, to build community leadership is really dwindling, because the community center was at the center of their hope to have programming activities come out of, to have their meetings happen there for their neighborhood. And now we have, because it's not used in the same way, now we have a couple of tents, I think three or four from what I saw last week. So we're back to like square one, it feels like. And I know that I'm not alone. I know there's a lot of community centers that probably have it even worse than my community does. But nonetheless, I just think that there's a lot of really good happening out of this particular center, that, as I'm sure that there's other centers that are also having food distribution, that are only being solely run by PRNS, that there isn't any other provider, and that there is some particular programs like distance learning, like happening out of there, and enrichment activities. Well, not now, but soon enough there will be. So I just think that these kinds of criteria should be added and included, so that we can reconsider also our reuse partner locations, because I don't know that I'm sure that we're going to find a lot of folks who are going to walk away from the community centers that we have, and then the level of rehabilitation that we're going to, or the investment that we're going to have to make into those community centers, are going to be even more once we have the funding available to actually do that. We don't even have the funding now. So I can't imagine that if we just let something go, it's going to deteriorate. And so I wonder what's the best way that we can maintain what we have now with the, maximizing resources. So I just hope that we can have a report back to NSE or to council to see if there's a process to kind of bring back some of those community center programs out of some of these locations out of the program, if they're doing X, Y, and Z, if they are solely being run by PRNS, if they're running programs that are part of like our COVID response, so that one, they're not, we're not taking them away from another wonderful partner that we have out there, but two, that they're being utilized and they're part of our programming. We just haven't really acknowledged them. I feel like we're the redheaded stepchild of the program. We're there, but no, we're not really there. We kind of get the scraps when we can. We really appreciate it because we're so hungry. But nonetheless, I think, you know, the what this community center means to my community is so much. So I just, you know, I'm not going to labor on too much, but I'm hoping that you can bring back some approach to the community centers that are right now being essential to our neighborhoods in the ways of food distribution, in the way of distance learning, and how can we have some level of consideration for the future of our neighborhood center partner programs, so that it can be considered as well.
Councilmember, if I can step in real quick, you know, our default position is always we want our community centers back. We want to run them. We want to program them. You know, as you well know, we just aren't capable of doing it. We don't have the capacity. So a lot of this does come down to budget, but we are trying hard to match services with neighborhood needs in these community centers. So trying to figure out, well, what are the neighborhoods got going on? Are there a lot of seniors in the area? Should we be doing something there? Or is it more about kids, you know, or some combination? So we are trying to do that through the process. In fact, I think we're having a meeting with Gardner Community. Is that tomorrow, or I can't remember now?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. And they're concerned because, you know, the Google complex is coming in, presumably. And we've been talking about, well, maybe some of the parks money we would get from that, we could build another community center in the area. But the Gardner community has been saying, well, wait a minute, you don't staff the one you have, right? You've turned it over to an operator.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really support building another community center. But again, it's not that we don't want to be there. But so what we're just going to ask them is, what do you guys want to see? What programming do you want to see? Because we do have programming there. It's not just because it's in reuse doesn't mean it's not serving the community in a good way. It's just a way to expand our capacity. And I was here back in the early 2000s when we were going through these reuse conversations, and I was in PRNS as a deputy. It wasn't my area of responsibility, but you know, there was a lot of concern about losing the community centers because we were just saying, well, we're just going to shutter them because we can't staff them. And then that's when we came up with this. And I agree with you. We're probably going to lose some providers through the pandemic, but I think we're also going to see new opportunities through the pandemic too. I think maybe we'll get lucky and those will bounce out. So I think what we can commit to is reporting back on the RFQ and saying, well, here's what we found, here's what we see. And if we're seeing gaps, we can then start that conversation around, okay, then what? Okay, if this center is not being used, is there a way for PRNS to staff it? Or is there some other way to make this work better for the community?
Got it. I appreciate it, and I think you on top of whatever you're going to consider already currently that is happening in that particular neighborhood, and thank you for using that Gardner example. I think just another layer to consider is what is happening with that particular community, right? So that's the Overfelt community. We just finished talking about career success paths or the lack of opportunity for our kiddos. And so, you know, this is another resource that's not going to be available, that hasn't been available for at least a generation for that particular neighborhood. And so my community is already so dry in resources. I don't have any other CBOs that cater to that particular district in the same way that maybe YMCA, actually YMCA would go, has been going, or was, but I think under our programming, but didn't get refunded, to KR Smith, which is right next door to this park and our community center. But just taking a look at the lack of maybe resources and what is happening with that particular neighborhood, I would appreciate it. And what is happening now, because this is very, very special circumstances, and that's COVID. The programs that have been running that are COVID impacted, I think should have a special consideration. Obviously, you know, I think so because of Welch and where it stands with providing parents getting back to work by not only just the distance learning is there's a benefit to the kiddos, but there's ultimately a benefit for the whole family, and that's economic recovery, right? And then of course our food distribution. And so anyways, I really hope that we can have a certain consideration for that as we move forward, because this consideration, or what we know about the neighborhood center program so far, is without really a COVID layer on it and a resource layer. So I just would really love to have that. I see you shaking your head, Andrea. Thumbs up with you, John. So okay, so I will end my my comments there, but invite Councilmember Esparza to begin hers. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Councilmember Arenas brought up the issue, you know, all my questions. In particular, I am looking forward to the assessment and recommendations that come back to us, because I remember the presentation from, it's before COVID. Was it January or February when PRNS did the presentation on this that had the equity layers? But there was this with where the community centers are and the communities with the highest number of need, and then other programs. And, you know, frankly, I think that we have some parts of the city that are going to need some investment. And I think it also goes into our hopes for our plans, not hopes, they're plans for a 2022 bond, and to do a lot of the work that we're doing just beyond the maintenance. And I heard nonprofit capacity, and I agreed with those comments, but I also wanted to bring up the issue that we rely a lot on nonprofit facilities, but they rely a lot on ours, and the biggest gaps are where the need is greatest, as we all know. So I just wanted to make those points. Thank you.
Great, and could I get a motion, council member?
Move to approve.
Wonderful, I'll second that. And council member, could you also include in that, if we can have an answer to some of the questions that I brought up and some of the items that we just discussed, hopefully before our budget process begins next year. I know it feels like way out there, but that's
not very far away. Yeah,
I know.
We've already started.
Yeah.
Don't say it, John.
I believe it. Yeah, yes. So the motion would be to accept the status report and to include that the answers to the questions raised today come to us prior to the budget process. And I don't know when that would be. Would that be February?
Yeah, it might be a little after, probably March, honestly.
Okay.
It's because the timing of the RFQ is going to be critical here. So we are trying to get that RFQ out in January, but Pauline or Andrea, do you know how long that's out on the street?
Well, and I just want to, you know, the runway to get into the NSC agenda. I would say we could come the April NSC meeting, April 8th. Is that too late?
I think that'd be too late.
Yeah.
If we're talking about before the budget, I think if, you know, two things, you know, perhaps an info memo on the RFQ as one idea, and or placing a March report out for the March NSC. That's still a little late, but perhaps we could kind of work on two tracks, a formal report through NSC, and then at minimum some conversation, since you've already given us kind of this direction and heads up around the budget, some conversation between now and then already around just potential budget proposals or implications on reuse contingent on the results of the RFQ. So we kind of bifurcate this a little bit, do some of this through NSC, some of this through our regular budget process that really has already initiated.
Yeah. Okay. That works. Thank you. So that's part of the motion. Did you get that, Tony?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. All right, would you do us the honors, Tony?
Jimenez?
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think you
Oh,
guys
I'm so sorry, Councilmember Carrasco. I didn't see your.
I'm
once.
typing. Call me. Call me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Councilmember Carrasco.
I'm trying not to butt in, but okay. Wild, Wild West here. So I really appreciate the conversation. And of course, you know that I'm going to jump in when it comes to the Alum Rock Youth Center, because it's such an important community center when it comes to serving our youth on the east side. I think everybody's really familiar with what the history was. I mean, that history started way before I ever took office, but nonetheless, it remains such an integral piece of the East Side history and truly what it was meant to do, and it continues to serve our youth. So, you know, I really appreciate someone here mentioned, and forgive me, I just don't remember who it was here on my tic-tac-toe board, but it's a great point. You know, just because it's not in our control, it doesn't mean that it's not serving our youth or our communities. But you know, there is still some limitations that take place when it's not within our control 100%. We're very lucky that the council approved a hybrid model. What was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, Andrea? I can't remember when that was. For Alum Rock specifically, which I think has worked to some extent. Would love to see what we could do if we could get it back in our control. That's been, my dream, as well as that of the community who worked so hard to build it from the foundation up. And that was just, it was situated, for those who were not here at the time, but situated between two pivotal schools in an area with very few resources and in a hot spot. And so we want to make sure that we do whatever we can to continue serving our youth in that area and figure out how we can maximize and leverage those limited resources. So I'm going to ask a council member, Esparza, or Tony, who I know does a great job in writing down everybody's word for word motion, just in terms of how we're bifurcating this motion. But for me, it's just imperative that Alum Rock is really looked at, and we try and figure out where we can find the funding to get that back under our control. I know that every corner of the east side and those areas that have been underserved or under-resourced is looking for ways to maximize services, especially to our youth. I mean, this is what we've been talking about all afternoon. But the other thing that, has always been on my mind, and I love it when I'm reminded of it by our community members who have a stake in the ground and who really love to serve our district in so many different ways. And Angel, you and I have spoken about this since the moment that I walked into City Hall doors. But Moxa, like, what do we do with Moxa? How do we get Moxa back on our books, or how do we create a partnership that is going to serve the community? Moxa was built with a sole intent to serve a community that was really being challenged by youth violence, that was being challenged by poverty, that was being challenged by a history of under-resource. And so to get Moxa back, I think would be Esther Medina's dream from wherever she's blessing us. But I think it would also be the communities. It was built with a real focus and a real intention. And for us to lose sight of that, I think is just a tragedy and such a loss for the east side of San Jose. Many different institutions, nonprofits, as well as private partnerships invested and made sure that Moxa was built up so that we could have it as a resource and an amenity for our kiddos. And so I would love to see how we can really drive an agenda that gets us sitting all at the same table, having a conversation, at the very least, having a conversation that's meaningful and significant. And I'd like to add that, if I could, Councilmember Esparza, at least a conversation that is a meaningful conversation with the entities that hold the keys to that building.
Yeah, we can commit to that. And and we've talked about this before, Councilmember. We share that dream, both at Moxa and at Alum Rock. We are inching towards Alum Rock. We're taking little bits more and more. And I do want to thank you in front of everybody for getting money to help improve some of the conditions at Alum Rock. That was your effort in the budget process last year. So that's going to make it that much more interesting and fun for the kids that will serve there. So we definitely can try to set that meeting up, and let's put everybody at the table and just see what is a pathway.
Yeah, and of course we know that if we don't have a goal, then we can't work towards it. If we can't get to the table to at least have a conversation, then we don't know what we have or don't have available to us. But would love to invite my council colleagues who are sitting here at this committee to help us push that conversation. Such an important conversation, and it serves, in its heyday, it served so many families, and it was such a great location. Right now, I have to tell you, in my district, it's an eyesore. It sits vacant. It's a dangerous situation, just because it's that broken window syndrome. But it's this huge building that so many have asked about, the future of it, and we have to give it a future. We have to give it a future. So again, if I could add that as a friendly amendment to at least have a conversation.
Sure, yes. Hold on, my iPad's freaking out. I think that's really important, and I would also think it would be a great idea if we could sit down with Senator-elect Dave Cortese to talk about what state resources we could perhaps bring to Moxa, because Moxa, I think we all have fond memories of Moxa, and it needs a lot of love, millions of dollars worth of love. And if that's something that the state could help us with, I think that's a conversation we can have. Thanks.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, Tony, take us away.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Crosco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chair, you're muted.
Please. All right, next we have item 3, status reports on parks and community facilities development capital improvement program with PRNS. Go ahead.
Thank you, Councilmember Arenas. This is Nicole Burnham. I'm a Deputy Director with the Department of Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Services. I have Eve Zudi with me today, who I think is going to screen share.
Yes, I am working with the IT department here. We're good now.
Okay, perfect.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Can it go into presentation mode, or you want to run it like that?
There we go.
So this is a report we provide to you annually. It's an overview of our capital program. Some of our sources of funding require us to do annual report outs and posting of the information online, so the public is clear on how the money was spent. We do this every year, and plus it's always fun to talk about park projects. So next slide.
There we go.
So I think, as at this point, most of you know, our major sources of funding are what we call the Park Trust Fund, construction and conveyance tax, grant programs. We still have some Measure P funding floating around that you're going to hear a little bit about. And we have a large program, and it's not the largest program in the city in terms of dollar value, because folks like the regional wastewater facility and the airport, have really big dollar value projects, but it's a sizable amount of money and we run a lot of projects. Next slide. Because we have a lot of facilities. By this time, I think most of you have seen this slide. We tend to use it in presentations. We have 209 parks. We have our hub community centers. We have the neighborhood community centers that you just heard about, athletic fields, over 60 miles of paved trail. We have family camp. We have Happy Hollow, and the list goes on. All of these elements keep our capital team pretty busy, trying to keep them all in top shape. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of projects in the pipeline at any one given time. There's about 150 active projects that our team is working on. So right now we're working on 17.9 acres of park related projects, over 2 miles of trails, roof replacements, HVAC. Our team has been extremely busy this year supporting Andrea and her team, getting Wi-Fi installed at the community centers, which you've been hearing about, to support the learning programs and education programs that they're running. So these are all things that we work closely with park operations as well as the community center staff on. Next slide. So looking at our various sources of revenue, so PDO, PIO, this is our Park Trust Fund. These are the fees that are paid by residential development community as they move forward with new residential projects. You can see they fluctuate quite a bit from year to year. When not surprisingly, last year's income was quite low compared to past years. This isn't unexpected during an economic downturn. I expect that the 2021 numbers may be equally as low. The good news is we tend to have a lot of backlog in our work plan, so we're just working off our previous year's work. Next slide. So projects, examples of projects that get funded from this kind of funding: Pellier Park downtown, Tamian Park over by Tamian Station in my neighborhood, Emma Prush Farm Park. There's work going on with the all-inclusive play area that's partially funded with this, as well as some grant funding that you hear about from Eve in a minute. Lincoln Glen, all-inclusive, Rincon South, newly opened. That's our newest park in our system, just opened within the last few months. Other projects, we do have future projects lined up where we keep this money in reserve as development happens and we know we can't fully fund a project, we leave it in reserve. So we're looking at this money for St. James Park. The park on Payne Avenue that you just recently heard about at council is funded out of Park Trust Fund money, PDO, PIO. Our trail projects, Santana Park, Del Monte Park, these are just examples of some pretty significant size projects that we're funding out of this revenue source. Another larger source that we have at our disposal is construction and conveyance tax. So these are taxes that are placed on new construction, which is a very small amount of this fund, and also the conveyance of property. So as property changes hands, there's a tax added on to that. Revenue from this fund, some goes to library, some goes to parks, some goes to fire, but I will say the bulk of it comes to parks. And this one is more stable, as you can see. So there's an assumption that the budget office provides in terms of how much they project we will collect in these revenues. So that's the top line of this graph, the assumed collection, the 23.4, 24.3, and 1920, it was 23 million. And then the actual collections can vary, right? If the real estate market is more active than we anticipate, we can generate more revenue into this fund. And this is the money that gets distributed into each council district based on needs-based allocations and based on the amount of parkland. And so 1920, luckily, in contrast to our developer fees, our actual collections in the CNC fund were higher than we expected. So this is always a good thing. It frees up money for additional projects and it trickles down into your districts. Next slide. And with that, I turn it to Eve.
Thanks, Nicole. And thank you, council members. We look at a number of sources for projects, the sources that Nicole has talked about, but we look to our external partners as well. And so in the last year, we pursued funding from Measure B, which is a large transportation measure here in the region. The VTA led that, and it got through the court system, and so those funds were freed up for us to apply for. There was some Prop 68 funds through the state of California where San Jose had a per capita allocation. So that money is directed to San Jose. We just need to provide a project which is suitable for that funding source. And then we worked with the Santa Clara County to pursue funds through its historic grant program. And that program is to help inform the community and protect our historical resources. So as we worked on those, we were awarded $610,000 for trail development. That's on Thompson Creek Trail from Quimby to Aborn Court. And that was through the Measure B program. And then Measure B is interesting because it's a 30-year program and they're going to be gathering proposals for 10-year cycles. So we applied for 6 projects and were confirmed for 5 of those projects on this 10-year list. So we can go to this program over the next decade and do another supplemental application to draw down our balances. So we have $21.4 million on Thompson Creek, Guadalupe River, Los Gatos Creek, and Coyote Creek. And so as our projects become more ready for that investment, we'll be proceeding with applications with council guidance on that. Thompson Creek was awarded because we had a project ready to go. And then we secured $387,000 for park development. Part of that was the grant through the historic grant program for the Thank You America Monument. And then we're looking at the Prop 68 per capita funds. We'll bring this to council, but we're looking at aligning it with a small pocket park in a neighborhood that aligns quite well with the grant program guidance. And then I think we've talked about this in priors. I'll just mention grants are great, but they're, like they always tell you, there's always strings attached. And with grant funding, we always need to find front funding. So if we were to find a $1 million grant, we typically have to find about $1 million to carry all those expenses before we can invoice. So that's often a challenge if there aren't a lot of CNC funds or Park Trust funds available for that purpose. In other grant programs, we have to find matching sources. So on the all-inclusive playgrounds we got from the County of Santa Clara, we found a matching program. So on some of those, if we put in 650,000, we could get another 650,000. But it's, again, having the funds available for us to meet that match. And then there's just a good grant administrative work that we do to meet the milestones. These grants can often have some pretty strict milestones, and so we work really hard to meet those deadlines. And then we need to align with the objectives of these grant programs. The history grant from the county does exactly what it states it will do. The Measure B funding was purely for transportation projects, so playgrounds and parks and community centers weren't in the running there, but projects like trails that can be seen as active transportation were suitable for that program. And then we'll often scope our projects based on the goals of a particular program. We received a grant last year from the Coastal Conservancy. They specifically wanted to study the alignments of the Bay Trail. That was the only thing they were going to fund. So we created a grant to pursue that opportunity. So that's a little bit about the grant programming world. And I will turn it back to Nicole.
Oh, do you want to go through the?
I'm happy to.
Have some great pictures.
Thank you. I wanted to mention a few projects that we have ongoing right now. The all-inclusive playground at Emma Prush. We showed you an image a moment ago with a giant chicken that's going to be a slide and a climbing structure themed around the whole idea of the farm park. The all-inclusive playground at Lincoln Glen is now underway, and we're theming that around the idea of communication over time. So there's nods to to planes and trains and automobiles, the Pony Express, and email. So all those things are themed in the park. Esther Medina Park is seen in the picture to the right, a lovely park that made use of a space that was long and narrow next to the highway, but we found a great opportunity to make a beautiful neighborhood park at that location. And Hathaway Park renovation is shown in the lower right, which is themed around the idea of a balloon ride so that the slide gets a shade structure, but conceptually it's a balloon ride. And then Iris Chang was shown on a slide a few slides back. It was the beautiful park with the spiraling landscape, and it's very much a relaxed, passive park. You don't play soccer at Iris Chang. You go there and you meditate and you be calm, and you get a connection to the Coyote Creek Trail there. I'll turn it over to Nicole to tell you all about Measure P.
Thanks, Eve, and then we're going to wrap it up. But just want to touch on Measure P because it's still out there. We have completed 89 of the 90 projects. Arcadia Softball Complex was completed this year, was scheduled to open, COVID hit. So it remains closed, and I know our operations team is working on some strategies for getting ready to open that. Our final Measure P funded project, you saw this at council back in October. It's Columbus Park Sport Fields. So we're going to use the remaining Measure P money to rehabilitate and reconstruct Columbus Park. And in addition to the 2 fields that are there now for softball, baseball, we will add soccer. So that fulfills, the last project was for soccer complex and soccer fields. So that will fulfill our spending with Measure P, and we'll be able to close out that bond measure hopefully within a couple of years. Oh, and our last funding source that's been relatively new to us is commercial paper. So we are using this. We're trying to use it as little as possible, but this is helping us offset the costs and manage cash flow around the 2017 flood recovery. Yes, we still have flood recovery projects that are ongoing. We expect to wrap up construction of these in 2021, but a couple of them, one at Family Camp, is really complicated in terms of needing permits to work in a river. So, but that's our hope. They are all very close to the goal line. We completed a number of projects this year. The Japanese tea house actually should be completed by December of this year, which is super exciting. But at this point, Happy Hollow is fully restored. The restrooms at the Japanese garden are restored. Mineral Springs restroom at Alum Rock Park, and you can see in the lower right work going on the tea house at the Friendship Garden. And so just to wrap up with some of our recently completed projects, and I actually think Eve really has fun going through these, so I'll let you do it and then you can put up the questions.
Yeah, the projects on the left, playground projects, Groesbeck Park, where our team helps sustain and repair and replace playgrounds, and that's going all over around the city. And I think I'm really proud of the team in thinking carefully about color and experience and just the general environment. So I think we're doing a good job at integrating these spaces. The upper photo is Rincon South Park in North San Jose by the airport. A lot of color and punch here. Below that, we've completed the design, awarded a construction contract, and are soon starting construction on the Coyote Creek Trail from Story to Phelan. You get the first image of the Three Creeks Trail ready for enjoyment very soon. That's going to open up here in the next couple of weeks. That spans over Los Gatos Creek. And then at Playa del Rey, we built this large shade structure that supports people picnicking and events, and really creates a nice center focal point in the park. And we're happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the pictures. All right, so we're going to start with public comment on this item, and we'll start with phone numbers ending with 5140. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, you need more money for the parks, especially the Rose Garden. All I ever hear is east side, east side, east side from Diaper Wipe 1 and Diaper Wipe 2. The Rose Garden fountain is constantly broken. It gets fixed, but it's constantly in disrepair. They need new grass here. They're working on it. But, why does everything have to be for the east side? Is there any other side of San Jose exist besides that place? I mean, how much money do people need over there, right? You got the shotgun detectors. I mean, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Stay on topic. We're talking about parks and community
Yeah,
facilities.
yeah. I just said it. We need more money for the Rose Garden. This place requires a lot of care, and it's not getting it. The fountain looks like it's built in 1932, and it's broken all the time. And the people do fix it, but there's a lot of trip hazards here that need to be fixed. I've met with people from the Rose Garden to have it fixed, and all they do is put orange spray paint on the place. The bathrooms look like a prison cell. Terrible. You guys need to take care of the parks you have, and you need to spread the money around the whole city, not just for Alum Rock Park or wherever. Right? Like, I'm sorry that that place gets thrashed, but what about the Rose Garden? Right? What about the west side, south side? Who cares about our parks in those areas? I haven't heard people talk about that at all during this meeting. It's all about one little district where the people are needy, and you guys know it. How much more money do we have to spend as taxpayers to support the people who supposedly don't have anything? I call balderdash.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's see who's on next. I think that was the only speaker, so I'm going to move into my colleagues and Councilmember Esparza.
Sorry, I don't know why my hand was raised. I didn't raise it.
I'd like to, I don't know if I raised my hand or not, but I'd like to ask a question if I could.
Sorry, I was going to call you next, Councilmember Fulton.
I'm sorry.
All
Today
right.
is just not a good Zoom day, that's for sure. Nicole, and I'm really glad to see you today because I was out at one of my parks in District 9, Lone Hill. And we talked about Measure P as it relates to the replacement of the irrigation system. Measure P was way before my time, but I understood that the irrigation systems were to be replaced in all of our parks. Yet Lone Hill it still has very old irrigation system that is not working. If you go out there, you can see how poor the fields are. The fields have many, many dark brown spots. The water's not working. There was a Adopt a Park individual there who was with us who got very frustrated that he has to go out and hand water some of the plantings that they've done, but they obviously can't hand water the big lawn. So what can we do? Is there any funding in Measure P left to replace that irrigation system? It's going to be expensive, but it is a mess out there. And I have to tell you, 2 years ago, it was fenced off and they replaced that field. I know because it was being replaced while I was knocking on doors around that neighborhood, and it was looking pretty lovely. And now it really looks used and abused, and it's not abused, it's just not being taken care of. It's not getting watered.
No, I thank you. I'm so glad that you brought that up, Councilmember. I'll have my team look into that. I'm not aware of Measure P going to a lot of irrigation work. That's the money that built Bascom Community Center and, built a number of the new hub community centers. And there's actually, I'll send you a link to it. We do have an online webpage that talks about what we spent all the Measure P money on. So you can have the list of projects, just so you know. I don't recall there being irrigation in there, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen because most of it was before my time as well. However, that being said, irrigation, totally different issue. We definitely can look into that. One of my team members has been really spending her days trying to focus on what needs to be done in every park and evaluating, and irrigation is one of those things that I think about a lot too, because I know we have a lot of systems that probably haven't been worked on in a while. So Sarah has been inventorying them and trying to identify and prioritize and understand what we need to fix. Because sometimes it's just replacing heads. Sometimes it's the whole system needs replacement. So it's a kind of a bit of an unwieldy task that she's been working on. But I'll put her on the case of that particular one and see if we can figure out what was going on there. And I also can loop back with the operations team and see, if there's any quick fixes that they can do.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your report today is very timely to my visit of that park earlier today, and I want my resident who called in earlier and talked about the Rose Garden to know that we actually do pay close attention to our parks in District 9, but they're old and a lot of them need new irrigation systems, and that's really expensive to take care of. And I know we're doing some of that work. Some of the fields are being replaced and such, but there's a lot more work that can be done. And I know the resources are really limited. So thank you. That's the only question I have. Thank you.
Thank you, council member. So I have first of all, just grateful for all the work that you've done in my district. I know in everybody else's district, every park looks different. And I really wanted to note that I think you do a really great job in blending in the design of the park with what is there already. And so I know that with blending in with the hillsides, you don't bring in this other color to pop so that nature can really be appreciated, right? And so it really struck me. Of course, there's a lot in just getting a park, play structure in place. It's not just the installation of it, right? But it's the conversations that you have with these community members. It's the understanding of what this community is really interested in, what would serve them well, and try to incorporate that into a design. And so I really wanted just to acknowledge that and thank you for the work in Grossback Park, of course, in Arcadia. It just is amazing out there. I know, John, you and I talked about maybe having a soft opening so that the playground portion of Arcadia ball fields could be utilized by our community. And I think it would be really important. So I just want to say thank you for all the really great work that gets done that we don't learn about, but that our parks just keep looking great because of that. I think you also had the new gazebo over at Fowler in my district as well. So anyways, I just wanted to acknowledge that, but I do have a question about San Jose camp. I know this summer is obviously off limits, but my question is, did we have some level of savings that we reinvested into the summer camp, or I don't know how that typically happens, and I hope that we're not going to have a permanent closure of that, but that this is just, temporary to COVID.
I have to kick that one to John, or Andrea's still on as well, so they may be able to. But...
do you mean summer camps in general, Councilmember?
No, the San Jose, I'm sorry. I said San Jose camp, but I meant the one
family camp.
Yosemite.
You're talking about family camp. Got it.
Family camp, yes, family.
That was strictly COVID related. So that program, along with our aquatics program, you recall we did a little something different in the budget. We just suspended each of them for the year, thinking we're probably not going to be able to do them anyways, which was true. Well, he can swim now, but we just suspended them for a year, but they didn't go away. They'll be in our base budget for next year. So that programming, as long as the virus cooperates, will start again next year.
Wonderful. And let me tie this into something that we were talking about earlier. And this is something that Councilmember Esparza and Carrasco brought up in terms of environment and our youth who haven't left whatever particular side of San Jose that they live in. They've probably born and raised there and not have seen much outside of San Jose. This is a wonderful experience to connect them with the larger, just the larger world around them and what exists beyond San Jose in a very affordable manner. And so I hope that we can, in the years coming, as health restrictions permit us to really work a lot more closely with this continuum of programming for our teens, that they get some level of priority with their families, right? It might be through youth intervention programs, because I know we used to do that all the time, and we used to have, and then we'd cross the bridge and go into the watering hole, which I was always scared of jumping into, but of course I didn't want to look like a chicken in front of all the youth, being young myself. But anyways, it was just amazing the way that I remember when we would take the girls up there and the boys up there, just how their perspective widens in terms of being part of a larger world, and then maybe having an appreciation for nature and seeing the nature around them, noticing it a lot more, right? And so I think there's also an opportunity not just for youth intervention services, but the rest of the program that goes along with what we talked about in item 1.
And we do that. Youth intervention still takes the kids up there to camp. We also have started trying to do more.
I meant beyond youth intervention. I meant like,
agreed,
sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
We also have started doing like overnights in Alum Rock. We just started doing that, and then of course we got to winter, but it was our plan. It was so popular. I mean, it's sold out immediately or signed up immediately, and with way huge waiting lists. So that's another area locally where we could just get someone into a different environment from maybe what they're used to or haven't had an experience. But we agree, it's a wonderful little place. I've been up there myself and stayed there with my own son, and we actually did get some work done up there during COVID. Put in a whole new road coming up to the entrance, so we were still able to keep the place in good shape. We just couldn't have visitors really.
Got it.
I just wanted to add, we had a partnership with the Youth Connections Foundation for 2 years, and they funded our Teen Center program when Leticia Espino was overseeing it, and we took groups up to family camp. So we wanted to continue that this year too. So intervention, just our teens in general, we're all in for continuing to send our San Jose kids up there.
Yes, now I remember with Leticia, yes, such fabulous person to have left our Evergreen Community Center. I miss her. All right, wonderful. So do we have a motion on the floor for this? Oh, Councilmember Foley, did you want to speak again?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Did I need to lower my hand? I'm sorry.
Now it's out. Now it's
Okay.
All right. Motion on the floor.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I'll second that.
I didn't have my speaker.
Okay, Jimenez,
Yes.
Foley,
Aye.
Esparza,
Yes.
Crosco,
Aye.
Arenas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. And so that takes us to our last item, which is Animal Care and Services Annual Report.
Hi, good afternoon, members of the committee and members of the public. My name is Jay Tirado. I'm a deputy director with San Jose Animal Care and Services, which is the Department of Public Works. And with me today is Mallory Kinsman, who's our field operations supervisor, and Lawrence Gomez, who's our shelter operations supervisor. Let me share my screen. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. So our animal care center is located on Monterey Road in District 7, and it's over 50,000 square feet. We opened in October 2004. And a typical year, we house approximately 18,000 animals per year. And some of the services that we provide are field services, adoptions, returning lost pets, euthanasia, rescue, outreach, medical care, and our public spay and neuter clinic. We also do animal licensing and permits. We are budgeted for 70 FTEs, and in addition to City of San Jose, We do provide service contracts to City of Milpitas, Cupertino, Saratoga, and the town of Los Gatos. And with that, I'll pass it on to Mallory.
Good afternoon. My name is Mallory Kinsman, and I'm the Field Operations Supervisor. Today, I will be discussing our field unit. Field Services has handled over 20,000 calls for service. Dispatch took in approximately 100,000 calls. Our most common types of calls are stray dogs, deceased animals, humane investigations, dangerous animals, and standards of care. Field Services also works closely with the District Attorney's Office on animal abuse and neglect cases. The picture here on the left is of Officer Lum after he rescued this elderly dog from a storm drain. The dog was brought back to our shelter for care and was later reunited with his owner. Each call for service is assigned a priority 1, 2, or 3. Priority 1 calls are emergency calls. We handled over 3,000 of those types of calls. These calls include sick or injured animals, aggressive dogs. Priority 2 calls are urgent calls. The field handled over 11,000 of these types of calls. These include our bite investigation, humane investigations. If you look at the pie chart to the right, you'll see that bite investigations make up about 24% of those total calls. And priority 3 calls are non-urgent calls. These calls include deceased animals, stray roams, and the field handled over 5,000 of those calls. With that being said, I will now hand it over to Lawrence Gomez.
Lawrence, you're still on mute.
Sorry about that. Good afternoon. My name is Lawrence Gomez, and I'm the Shelter Operations Supervisor. Today, I'll be presenting on our shelter services, and here we have a slide that shows what our intake was for our fiscal year 1920. We served 15,094 animals. 4,269 of those animals were dogs. 8,840 of those animals were cats. But a big number of those cats were young kittens. And then we served 895 rabbits, guinea pigs, small animals, birds, and small livestock. We also serve wildlife, and we took in a little bit over 1,000 wildlife during that fiscal year. Our summer months tend to be our busier months, and we see a daily average population of about 400 animals. And then in our winter months, it tends to be a little bit slower, so we'll see a daily average population of about 200 animals. To the right, you'll see some photos. One is of one of our magnificent adoptable dogs. She's smiling there in the photo. And then we also have a really adorable little piglet that came to our shelter as a stray. You never can tell what comes through our doors, whether it be piglet or snake or a rabbit or a bird. So we were very grateful to have our time with that little piglet. And then just below that is a group of little neonate kittens. We get quite a few of those during the spring and summer months, and we partner with members of the community to help raise them until they're old enough to be adopted out. And we've been quite successful with that over the last few years, and we're very grateful for the community support. And then just off to the left of the kittens, this board with all this colors and writing. This is our enrichment board. We have been able to institute daily enrichment for our shelter pets. Each day we're always looking for better ways to offer the best care for our animals while they're here waiting to go off to their new beginnings. So we're very proud of the work that we put in here, and this enrichment board is a reflection of all of us banding together to commit to making sure that the care for our animals is excellent. All right, and this slide represents a 5-year snapshot of our overall intake. You'll see down that the numbers somewhat stay similar. This year we did see a decrease. We attribute that in big part to COVID. We did have to modify some of our intakes during the COVID process just to make sure that we were keeping the staff and the community safe and able to continue to meet the needs of the community. And then this slide represents our live release rate over the last 5 years. And we're currently maintaining a 90+ live release rate, which is far above the national average. Each year, the national average continues to increase for live release rates overall. And it's currently sitting in about the higher 70% range. We're at 90 plus, so we're definitely working very hard to maintain that. And we're very, very grateful for the community support in order to achieve that benchmark, which is a goal when shelters are trying to achieve life-saving. 90% benchmark is a common goal amongst shelters across the nation.
And thank you, Lawrence. And so in addition to our field and shelter operations, we also have our medical team, which you can see here on the picture, and our admin team, our marketing and volunteers, which we definitely appreciate our volunteers that come in and help us with our animals in the shelter. We also do fundraising, whether it's donations or applying for grants. We do have 2 medical clinics, public and internal. And they completed approximately 10,000 spay-neuter surgeries per year. With our admin team, they process licensing, which is part of their duties and responsibilities. They did process about 30,000 licenses and generated about 1.4 million last fiscal year. 38% were manually processed, and 68% were via online licensing. And we did, against our operating budget, we did have a 35% cost recovery, which has 3.3 million in revenue, and with a 9.1 million budget. We have our gift trust, which is our guardian angel program. I do want to note that in our memo, there was an error in, that we reported a decrease in our revenue, but it was actually a 17% increase, which, and you can see the total here of 468,000 in donations. Now we use our gap funding. You saw some of the programs that we have, which is enrichment. We also do additional work if an animal needs some sort of special dental work or other surgery, or we call in a specialist that will do an ultrasound. So that is some of the things that we do for our animals that are in the shelter. What really the goal is, we're positioning these animals not just for their health, but also to be able to be adopted out or be taken in by our rescue partners, which ultimately our goal as a operation is to really save more lives, and the more lives we can save, the better off we feel, and also it's great for the community and the animals as well. And so, there were other moments during the shelter in place that we wanted to highlight, but there's some. So we just wanted to share some of the pictures of during the shelter in place. I'm going from left to right here. We conducted our first ever virtual adoption event, which a lot of the documentation and approval process was done online or via phone. And so the adopters just came into our shelter, and we did use safety protocols, through health screening, health check, temperature check, and making sure that folks were wearing a face covering. And all they really did was come in and pick up their new animals. And around that time, about 55 cats and kittens were adopted. So we do thank our community for that support. And the next picture is, you can see Mallory and Lawrence. One of the concerns that we had during the shelter in place was really kind of this influx of animals that are coming in because of different community members that were going to be affected with the pandemic. But we didn't really see a lot of that, but we did still, because we weren't doing a lot of our adoptions any longer because our shelter closed, we did depend highly on our rescue partners. And this is one organization that really helps us out, which is called Wings of Rescue. And they did fly out some animals to a different part of the country, which is what they do for different organizations as well. So during the shelter in place, our staff, including our medical team here that is pictured, really had to adapt. And our staff have been working since the shelter in place was enacted, providing essential services, but there were also some essential duties that we had to do inside the shelter, and medical was one of them. And so I just wanted to show how our medical team adapted to that. On the lower right, after our Kitty Palooza event, our field team impounded over 100 chickens and roosters from a property, and then but luckily, again, with community support and with our shelter partners, we were able to transfer those, whether it's through adoptions or through a shelter. Those chickens didn't stay too long at our shelter. And then our last picture on the right here, again, a lot of firsts for many of us during the shelter in place. We did our first ever pet food drive. This first one, we tried to really advertise it. And again, we contacted different departments, and I think we worked with Telemundo and other organizations with this one, or news stations to really advertise this to anyone that really needed food for their pets. Again, this one particularly, we were trying to get our low-income community pet owners to come to our shelter, whether they were driving in a car or walking up. And so we wanted to provide that service as well. And we are actually going to advertise and conduct another one on the 21st. And so more information to follow on that one. So that was just some of the things that we wanted to share. And with that, thank you for your time. Let me stop sharing here. And the team and I are available for questions.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, so we don't have any callers. I'm going to go straight to my colleagues now. I don't see any hands up. So I don't know that there's any questions other than what I'm going to ask you now. And that is, I know you said you had pretty solid registrations, and I think you said it was 62% online. Is that because you tweaked maybe the online registration? I know that I think Councilmember Perales at one point, maybe it was in the larger council meeting, had said if you could just populate the registration for the license, excuse me, I said registration, but the license for the pet, then you would kind of pay it rather than forget it. Did anything happen differently that you got this much 62% via the web, or do you think it was because people switched and couldn't walk in anymore and get the license?
So thank you for that question, Councilmember. Councilmember Perales, he was actually promoting for a lifetime pet license, and so we're still going to conduct we're in the process of conducting a community survey for that to see what the community's response is, and then follow up with that. But I think it was due to COVID, and then we did have a lot of we still had staff obviously at the shelter, but we had folks that would call in to license, and again, there was a period of time where we wanted to make sure that we weren't pressuring people to license, their pets during the pandemic. So we did give a lot of folks some flexibility, and all they had to do was call us, and if they had a financial problem or whatever the problem may be, we did provide some flexibility on that one. But we did feel like the 62% in licensing was due to COVID and people not being able to come in. But eventually we did have our admin staff. A lot of our business right now is done outside of the shelter, which also includes if people want to drop off licensing because they don't want to do online, they just want to drop off a piece of paper with their information on there. We are taking those as well. So we want to make sure that we provide that service. So yeah, we do feel like online was because of COVID, folks, and because of our shelter physically closed in the early stages. And we're still physically closed now, but we're providing a lot more services now than the early part of the shelter.
I know you said also that just one more question about
the intake of animals and the 5-year trend, and you did see less of a trend this year with both dogs and cats, and other whatever other is. Do you think that has anything to do with, well, first of all, I guess maybe what do you think that has to do with? Because I think right now people are lonely, you know, we're all isolated. And so I'm thinking maybe people are really able to take care of their pets. And so they're not roaming the streets. What trend did you see? Did you happen to notice?
And Lawrence can jump in here, but we do still think that because people are home more, and I don't know if, you know, on a normal year, we have some folks that, you know, will see animals and they'll call us, and so it's really hard for us to figure out. I mean, other than COVID related, that our animal intake was low, but we running comparisons through the last fiscal year or even the same time period, and it's clear all around. Even strays that are being brought in was down, which is really surprising. And so, to me, it was due to COVID. Lawrence, did you have any?
Yeah, I think we saw some impacts through COVID. I would say positive impacts. Certainly with the decrease in intake, because we saw a lot more community involvement and animals not necessarily coming into our shelter, but rather being managed outside of the shelter from community member to community member. So, like animals that would otherwise be owner surrendered to our facility. Were also rehomed in the community directly from their families. And when the pandemic hit, we did see an increase in adoption interests. And we felt like that had a lot to do with people being home and, you know, working from home and able to have those pets or retain their pets. And so we feel like that was a contributing factor to some of the decreases that we saw in intake overall. And then we also felt like there was a lot more community involvement with reuniting lost pets with their families, because even though we were open for intake and redemption of animals, a lot of the community members still felt like still thought that the shelter was completely closed. So they were reaching out, they were keeping those pets and reaching out and trying to reunite them with their families on a community level rather than bringing them directly into the shelter.
Oh, great, great. So they're doing the work they should have been doing in the first place. Well, good to hear. I was really excited about your Kitty Palooza. Hopefully you continue to do these opportunities to bring people and pets together. And with that, just thank you so much for the service that you're doing during this pandemic. And able to do regardless, right? So I really love all of that. Thank you for sharing great pictures. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so I don't hear a motion. Maybe Councilmember Jimenez?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And Councilmember Jimenez, I know you have to go to VTA, so I appreciate you hanging in there. Thank you. All righty. Let me look. There is no public comment for open forum. So I believe this is the end of our.
Would you like me to call the vote?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Tony, of course.
That's okay.
Yes, validate us.
Jimenez?
Yes.
Foley? Esparza? Crosco?
Yes.
Arenas?
Yes.
You made it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Councilmember Jimenez, for hanging in there. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Mallory, Lawrence, and Jay. I appreciate it. Awesome. And Angel, of course, but you're always there. Awesome. So we're moving into open forum. And let's see, Mr. Beekman, go ahead and unmute yourself and begin your public comment.
Hi, thank you. I thought I almost missed it. Thank you very much. To practice how to offer good-minded public service announcement, I hope at this point in early November, we're all becoming clear with the idea there may be an expected rise in COVID-19 cases throughout the winter, even with a vaccination process that seems to be starting. and that we are going to have to work hard so that the previous 70 deaths a week across the Bay Area may only grow to a minimum amount of 100 to 120 a week this fall and winter. For all of our efforts and worry at this time, this means to please continue to use caution and safe practices all through the fall and early winter here in San Jose and the Bay Area. And with only a short amount of time for public comment, I'm sorry if I have not more clearly offered that ideas of converting the SAP Center into a new BART station are simply ideas of conjecture and daydreaming at this time, and that Spartan Stadium and Avaya Stadium have always been considered as places to build a new Sharks Arena in this daydreaming. However, the future of this area goes without parking lots and cars has always been very seriously worked on at this time, however. I'd like to offer to again remind that Deputy Chief and Chief Executive Officer Anthony Mata has a gentleness and good spirit and is the current liaison to the City Office to Immigrant Affairs among years of other interesting administrative skills that can well address the many parts of the community. If nothing else, I feel he is simply something of the example of how to find the next police chief of San Jose and how to respect the depth of the term reimagine. Thank you for the ideas of reimagine. I hope we can simply be open to the ideas. We don't have to be closed-minded and conservative. We've made our efforts to understand what good police, how we need our police at this time. I hope we can be open to want to be able to talk about what is possible with reimagine. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is the end of NSC committee. Thank you.